Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 1 hour. Plane crash in Brazil, Sao Paulo state killed 61 on board. 3 days of mourning declared in the nation. US stresses for Gaza ceasefire, says that escalation of tensions is in no one's interest. White House says US will not allow extremists, including in Israel, to push Gaza ceasefire talks off the course. US to send missiles, ammunition to Ukraine in the new $125 million package, while Russia imposes anti-terrorism measures in 3 regions bordering Ukraine. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets Maldivian counterpart to forge closer ties, says partnership based on desire to work together for each other's interests. More pride to Indians in the Paris Olympics. Wrestler Aman wins bronze, India's 6th medal in the tally. Prime Minister Modi hails his dedication and perseverance. A plane has crashed in the Brazilian state of Sao Paulo, killing all the 61 people on board. The twin-engine turboprop was flying from Cascavel in the southern state of Paraná to Guarulhos Airport in Sao Paulo City when it came down in the town of Wayanad. Footage circulating on social media shows a plane descending vertically, spiraling as it falls. The ATR 72-500 was carrying 57 passengers and 4 crew members. The crash has been the deadliest in Brazil since 199 people were killed in 2007 on a flight operated by TAM Airlines. Relatives of the passengers of the Brazilian flight that crashed waited at the airport in the city of Cascavel, from where the aircraft had departed, to get information on their loved ones. Regional carrier Vopas gave people a printed notice with little information about what had happened and provided a phone number to support family members and passengers, but many complained that the phone line was not operating. Russia declared the situation in its border Kursk region a federal emergency. The defense officials say that they continue fighting with the Ukrainian military and halted their advance. At the same time, more reinforcements have been sent to the area. Russia also declared a state of emergency in another region, Lipetsk, after 9 people got injured in a massive Ukrainian drone attack. DD India's Dasha Chernishova gets us more from Moscow.
Russia has sent reinforcements to its Kursk border region to fight against the Ukrainian incursion. The videos released by the Defense Ministry show columns of Grad, MLRs, tanks, artillery on the move to the fighting area. The Defense Ministry says it did not allow the Ukrainian military to advance deeper into the Russian territory. They continue to strike the Ukrainian manpower and military equipment. The Emergency Situations Ministry has declared the situation in Kursk a federal emergency. Russian President Vladimir Putin convened a meeting of his Security Council on Friday to discuss the fight against terrorism. This is how Moscow views the Ukrainian actions. The attack on Kursk, which is adjacent to Ukraine's Sumy region, forced thousands of people to relocate. Local authorities say those affected will receive additional financial assistance, and the Emergencies Ministry sent additional forces to the region to facilitate further evacuations. Russian authorities say they have repelled over 75 Ukrainian drones overnight, including in Lipetsk region, where the local authorities have been forced to introduce this emergency situation as well. 9 people have been wounded as a result of this massive drone attack. Dasha Chernishova, reporting in Moscow.
All right, from here we take you live to the international airport in the national capital Delhi, where the victorious and the jubilant hockey team has returned from Paris. And here we have the members of the Indian hockey team, all smiles there, and we have a huge crowd gathered there, taking photographs and greeting the victorious hockey team who have returned with honors, with a bronze medal from Paris. This victory in fact came after a match against Spain. The Indian hockey team defeated Spain with a score of 2-1 in our favor. And this win marks India's continued success in the sport following a significant period of 41 years without any Olympic medal. And here we have the victorious hockey team return back to India with the bronze medal. And the crowds there gathered at the international airport in Delhi, cheering for their heroes. And here the members of the Indian hockey team flashing the bronze medal there, the hard-earned bronze medal, the laurels which they earned for the country at Paris. Now this bronze medal adds to India's extensive Olympic history, which now totals 13 medals in hockey. This includes 8 golds, 1 silver, and now 4 bronze medals. All right, what a moment there for the Indian hockey team to arrive to this thunderous applause in the national capital, welcomed with beautiful drum beats, and the fans there gathered to welcome them. And also, for the benefit of our viewers, Hockey India had also announced cash of 15 lakh rupees each to the players and 7.5 lakh each for the support staff for their medal-winning feat at Paris. So here we have excited fans who have gathered to welcome the hockey team in the national capital.
काफ़ी इमोशनल मोमेंट था उनके लिए भी, क्योंकि इतना समा उन्होंने जो हॉकी को दिया है, टीम को दिया है, आई थिंक बहुत बड़ी बात है। एंड लास्ट मैच खेलना और मेडल के साथ फिनिश करना, इससे बड़ी बात उनके लिए भी कोई नहीं है। तो हमारा यही था कि उन जो वो जा रहे हैं तो उनको अच्छे से भेजें, मेडल के साथ भेजें, और हम बहुत खुश हैं उनके लिए। बट ऑफ कोर्स अभी वो रिटायरमेंट दे चुके हैं, बट वो हमेशा हमारे साथ रहेंगे। बिल्कुल सर, आई थिंक जो सपोर्ट मिल रही है स्पोर्ट्स को और सभी गेम्स को, आई थिंक वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। रियली वांट टू थैंक गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, हमारे साई बेंगलोर और आई थिंक साई के एंड जो हमारी उड़ीसा गवर्नमेंट है एंड हमारी हॉकी इंडिया, आई थिंक इनकी बहुत बड़ी सपोर्ट है हमें। और एज ए प्लेयर सबको यही होता है कि आपको सब सपोर्ट मिले, जो आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट हो आपकी पूरी हो। तो आई थिंक वो हमें मिली है और आई रियली वांट टू थैंक। बहुत खुश हैं और बहुत प्राउड हैं, क्योंकि हॉकी के लिए बहुत बड़ी बात है और जितना प्यार अब मिल रहा है हॉकी को, और ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हमारी डबल करता है। और हम भी कोशिश करेंगे कि जब भी मैदान में जाएं और देश के लिए मेडल लेके आएं।
थैंक यू।
So that was Harmanpreet Singh at the international airport after the team's arrival, talking to the media persons. And this is indeed a momentous occasion for India to celebrate, because the team has returned with a bronze medal there, defeating Spain by 2-1. And also this is for the second consecutive time that India has won a medal at the Olympics. The last was the bronze medal at Tokyo Olympics. And also with this match, in fact, veteran goalkeeper P.R. Srijesh has also announced retirement from the international matches. And also this was also referred by Harmanpreet Singh when he was asked about P.R. Srijesh's retirement. So here we have the victorious hockey team aboard the bus from the international airport, and also this is in fact important because this is the second consecutive time when India has won a medal at the Olympics. After the Tokyo Olympics, here comes a bronze at the Paris Olympics. Deepika is joining us on phone line. Deepika, this could not have been a better Saturday to welcome the victorious Indian team back home with the players there flashing their bronze medals. What are you witnessing at the airport?
Indeed. Good morning, Preeti. Right now we are at IGI airport, and all the media persons, all the fans and everybody was waiting for them because the flight was earlier scheduled to come at 8 o'clock in the morning, but then it got delayed by an hour, and right now the team bus is leaving towards Major Dhyanchand's Stadium because there is a small felicitation event of the entire team. The team just came out from the airport. They were welcomed with great fervor, with doles, flowers, and flowers were showering, and there were kids also who were ready with their placards welcoming the entire team into Raj. And right now we can see Manpreet also is accompanied by his kid, and he's sharing the moments of glory with his kid right now on the team bus, and we can see the entire team waving goodbye to all the media persons, all the fans who were here at the IGI airport. They've just now left for the Major Dhyanchand's National Stadium, where they will be felicitated at a small event which is being organized over here. Now, interestingly, Preeti, as you just said and as you just mentioned, this is the second consecutive bronze medal that the hockey team has got at Olympics. The first bronze medal came after 4 decades. It was back in the year Tokyo Olympics 2021, and now in 2024 Paris Olympics also India lost the semi-finals to Germany, but then they beat Spain in the bronze medal match, and Captain Harmanpreet played a crucial role. And not only this, as you just said, this was also the last answer of goalkeeper P.R. Trijesh, who's been bestowed as the Great Wall of India, and the captain, who is famously known as Sarpanch Sahab, just addressed the media. Viewers just heard him also addressing the media outside the airport, and he said that this is a moment of pride for the entire country when they get a chance to get felicitated by their countrymen, because they are getting a bronze medal back from Paris Olympics, back from foreign soil, after creating yet another record by bagging consecutive bronze medal matches. So right now, if I tell you the latest update, left for Major Dhyanchand's Stadium, but they were welcomed with great fervor, great excitement, flowers, stars, laddus and everything here at the airport, Preeti.
All right, yes, indeed, it was a befitting welcome to the hockey team. Deepika, a very important point was mentioned by Harmanpreet, saying that now people are recognizing hockey in a nation which eats, sleeps, eats and sleeps cricket. Here we have the hockey players making a mark for themselves. So we are, reminiscent of the era when hockey used to bring in Lawrence, and after 40 years, close to 4 decades now, we see again hockey coming back to the limelight. So this is a befitting reply, a befitting, ode to what all hockey has given to the nation, isn't it?
Indeed, Preeti, when we talk about it, this is indeed a very historic moment, because in Tokyo 2020 and before that, we'd left all hopes from having an Olympic medal, because 40 years had passed and we were having no Olympic medal. But now, after that, when you see the record was created after 40 years in Tokyo 2020 because of the pandemic. Tokyo was organized in 2021, so it was just 3 years ago. But now, if you look at this current momentum, this current achievement that India has come up with, bagging yet another bronze medal, and that too against a team like Spain and against a team like Germany. And not only this, they created history by beating Australia also, and they put up a superb show by defeating Great Britain as well in the quarterfinals, pre-quarterfinals and the group stages. Australia was a huge victory for Team India because they beat Australia after almost 52 years. So this altogether comes as a great achievement for the hockey Indian team. And indeed, it's not just cricket, because people here in India recognize India with the sport of cricket, but now we are moving from that image far forward, because India is now known for hockey also, India is known for wrestling also, India is known for other non-cricketing sports also which are emerging, and the government is also playing their best, they're putting their best foot forward to ensure that other sports get equal limelight as well, having the perfect infrastructure, having the perfect funding and having all sort of facilities that should be provided to them at the right time, at the right level, Preeti.
All right, yes, Deepika, that was about the efforts by the government, but then also hard work of the hockey players have also paid off. Let us very quickly get a gist from you about the performance of the Indian hockey team at the Olympics. What were the turning points? How has been the journey of the hockey team at the Paris Olympics? Deepika, are you there with us? Am I audible? All right, I think we've lost contact with Deepika. We'll try getting back to her again. But this is the latest we're getting for you. The victorious hockey team, Indian hockey team, after winning a bronze medal at the Paris Olympics, has returned home. And these are the homecoming visuals of the Indian hockey team at the international airport in the national capital, and they were welcomed with huge fanfare, with dolls and with sweets and with fans there taking selfies, taking photographs of the heroes, and they were present there to welcome their heroes. And here we have the team returned back from Paris, the victorious Indian hockey team with the bronze medal and the laurels for the country. They have returned to India after their stint at Paris Olympics. All right, you're watching DD India News Hour. We're heading for a short break. Stay with us.
On Voice of the Global South this week, after Iraq and Afghanistan, has the US allowed Islamist radicals to take over Bangladesh? We speak to survivors of female genital mutilation or cutting, patriotism in digital age, and Indian Independence Day special. Watch Voice of the Global South pre-Saturday at 7 p.m. IST and 1:30 GMT only on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's get you more updates as threats of Iran's attack on Israel looming large after killing of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh. US has intensified efforts for peace in West Asia. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken reiterated on Friday that there was an urgent need to reach a ceasefire in Gaza to save the hostages and ensure their return from the captivity of Hamas. Blinken told on Friday the Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant in a phone call that the escalation of tensions was in no party's interest. During the call, Blinken also assured that the United States will not impose sanctions on the Israeli military's Netza Yehuda battalion and has decided to end an investigation into potential rights violations by the unit in the occupied West Bank. A day earlier, the Israeli Defense Minister also spoke to US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin about the situation in the region. The White House has condemned Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich for arguing against a ceasefire and hostage release deal brokered with the Biden administration. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby said that the finance minister was misleading the Israeli public, and Biden administration will not allow extremists, including in Israel, to push Gaza ceasefire talks off the course. United States and its allies have been trying to arrange a ceasefire for hostages deal for months now, but have consistently run into obstacles from both Israel and Hamas. The Lebanese government has warned of a humanitarian disaster if Israel and Hezbollah go to conflict. The warning comes as tensions remain high on the border, as the Lebanese-based Hezbollah group vows retaliation for an Israeli airstrike which killed one of the group's senior commanders. From Beirut, Trent Murray gets us more.
Well, the senior minister in charge of contingency planning here in Lebanon has warned the country may need $100 million a month worth of aid if a major war is to break out with Israel. Now, we know many people here are concerned about that possibility. There's been some reports of stockpiling, people stocking up on items like rice, flour, as well as diapers for babies. Now, the government is saying that there's no need to do that. The country has got at least 5 months' supplies in order to keep the shelves full in supermarkets. But people are clearly concerned here. Many of them remember the last war back in 2006. At that time, Beirut International Airport was bombed and there was also a sea blockade implemented by Israel. So seemingly not wanting to take that chance again. You are seeing reports from across the country of some supermarkets being busier than normal. Now, on the foreign nationals front, well, as you might imagine, governments continue to tell their citizens to leave Lebanon while there are still commercial flights available. It remains difficult, though, given that there are few seats and the ticket prices are very expensive. And more broadly, tensions just continue to remain red hot. We saw Hezbollah fire more rockets overnight into northern Israel, and we also saw some targeted airstrikes by the Israeli Defense Force targeting a car quite far from the border of Israel. It's not so common that they fire that far north. Some reports suggest 2 people in the car were members of Hamas, but we still need to wait for confirmation from the group. But it just continues to really be an anxious wait right now for people here to see how Hezbollah will respond. This is a militant group which is thought to have 150,000 missiles and rockets in its arsenal, and for that reason, people right across West Asia are just concerned that any sort of response from them could spiral into a major regional war. Trent Murray for DD India, Beirut.
U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris called for a ceasefire in Gaza after her speech was disrupted by pro-Palestinian protesters at her Arizona rally. Harris said that she respected their voices and is working with President Joe Biden to get the deal finalized.
I have been clear. Now is the time to get a ceasefire deal and get the hostage deal done. Now is the time. And the President and I are working around the clock every day to get that ceasefire deal done and bring the hostages home.
U.S. presidential rivals Donald Trump and Kamala Harris rallied voters on Friday, a day after confirmation that they will meet in a televised debate next month. Trump headed to Montana, while Harris and her vice presidential pick, Tim Walz, visited Arizona. Trump and Harris campaigns have confirmed the pair will meet on September 10th in their first live debate. DD India's Nick Harper sends us this report from Washington, D.C.
But Donald Trump and Kamala Harris were out on the campaign trail on Friday. Trump has remained off the trail this week, but he did hold a press conference on Thursday at his Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida. On Friday, he chose to head to the state of Montana, not a battleground state. It's a firmly red Republican state that he won in 2020 by 16% ahead of Joe Biden. He was there, though, to try and oust the current incumbent Democratic Senator Jon Tester. Kamala Harris, though, did get out in front of swing state voters as she tries to sell her vision and message of America to independent, undecided voters. She was in the city of Phoenix in the swing state of Arizona, a state that shares its border with Mexico, so immigration was very much in focus. She'll be continuing her swing states tour on Saturday, heading to Las Vegas in the state of Nevada. Some polling out over the last 24 hours has suggested that the momentum we've seen in the Democratic Party since it was announced that she was taking over from Joe Biden has been reflected in national polls. A Reuters Ipsos poll showing that she's about 5 percentage points ahead of Donald Trump, 42% to Trump's 37%. And if you narrow that down just to look at swing states, she's a couple of percentage points ahead, 42% for Harris, 40% for Donald Trump. And of course, all of this coming ahead of the two meeting on a debate stage to go toe-to-toe. September the 10th is the date for your diary. It has been confirmed by both campaigns that they will meet in an unscripted, live televised debate. Donald Trump has also said that he would welcome at least 2 other opportunities to debate Kamala Harris. He has said in the past that she's not intelligent enough to debate him. She's saying that if he turns up for the first one, she'll consider whether or not to debate him a second and third time as well. In Washington, Nick Harper, reporting for DD India.
UK police say that they're prepared for any further outbreak of disorder this weekend. Britain has been hit by a series of riots after the killing of 3 young girls in a July 20 knife attack in Southport, northwest England, triggering a wave of false online posts that wrongly identified the suspected killer as an Islamist migrant. DD India's Ollie Barrett gets us more from London.
There are as many as 6,000 police officers on duty to potentially deal with rioting or disorder if they are needed over the course of the weekend. The police say that they are remaining very much on high alert, as the Prime Minister Keir Starmer has requested. One of the reasons that Saturday and Sunday are being looked at as potential days for further outbreaks of unrest is partly because it's the weekend and fewer people are at work, at their jobs, but also because the football season is beginning, and police do feel that that has the potential for some of those meetings between football teams to spill over into some violence as well. All of that said, police say they feel they have the resources in place to deal with any outbreaks of violence or disorder that they may see. And also Keir Starmer and the government believe that some of the custodial sentences we've been seeing over the last few days will be a significant deterrent to any further rioting. And so they hope that actually we are past the peak of the disorder in the UK now. That is, though, still a hope rather than something that they can necessarily guarantee. And Keir Starmer has been warning against complacency in thinking that this is necessarily over. When it comes to the judicial process, nearly 600 people had been arrested by the end of Friday afternoon local time, and police say that those arrests will continue. Indeed, police have been saying those arrests could continue for months to come. And again, the government will hope that that will continue to act as a deterrent against any future disorder. But police very much for Saturday and Sunday on alert.
Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro gave a scathing response to an offer on Friday from his Panamanian counterpart, Jose Raul Molino, to facilitate his departure to a third country to allow for a political transition. Molino said that he would give Maduro safe passage to act as a bridge to a third country in the aftermath of the July 28th election, but Maduro accused the fellow president, the Panamanian president, who himself was elected to office just 3 months ago, of getting carried away by the gringos, using a derogatory term for Americans. Panama has also agreed to a deal with the United States under which the latter will pay for flights to deport migrants who cross the country's Darien Gap, a dangerous stretch of jungle that joins to the South American continent, and a route more than 200,000 have taken so far in 2024, many hoping to reach the U.S. Tourists in Rome visited the Colosseum seeking coolness in the shade and drinking fresh water in anticipation of the heat wave that will peak at the weekend. Heatwave Sharon will bring temperatures that could exceed 40 degrees Celsius in southern Italy on Saturday and Sunday. Forecasters say that the heat wave will also be accompanied by high humidity in many Italian cities and will last until after August 15. Extreme heat baked the eastern Chinese coast and sharply pushed up demand for power to cool homes and offices over the past week. Thousands of people hit the beach on the outskirts of Shanghai to escape a punishing heat wave roasting the city. Shanghai's weather authorities issued an orange alert for heat wave as the temperature in China's financial hub climbed to 37 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, torrential rainstorms pound North China. The downpours could trigger mountain torrents, swollen rivers, waterlogging and other geological disasters in the following 3 days, it warned. Downpour of 100 to 170 millimeters is expected in some regions. Shanghai has been battling a heat wave since last Thursday, when the city issued its highest heat warning. Flash floods in northeast Ohio left drivers stranded and residents trapped in their homes. At least 6 people were rescued from the high waters in Summit County. Torrential weather caused power outages and closure of several businesses. Homes were surrounded by knee-deep waters and many drivers were stuck in standing water after being forced to park on the side of a highway. And the remnants of Debbie, once a hurricane that lashed the Florida coast, left heavy rain and flooded roads in Washington, D.C. as the storm churned through the U.S. mid-Atlantic towards New England. The National Weather Service issued flood warnings and tornado watches for parts of an area stretching from coastal Georgia to Vermont as the storm moved northeast considerably faster than earlier in the week. Debbie, a slow-moving storm for most of the week, has dropped as much as 25 inches of rain on its march north and killed at least 8 people. An earthquake with a magnitude of 6.8 hit northern Japan. Japanese authorities issued tsunami advisories for coastal areas, urging residents to move to higher ground. Emergency services were activated and local governments set up evacuation centers for those in the affected areas. Japan is one of the world's most earthquake-prone countries. Despite the incident, there were no immediate signs of major damage. A quick break ahead on DD India News Hour. Stay with us.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. Let's take a look at the top stories once again. Plane crash in Brazil, Sao Paulo state kills at least 61 on board. 3 days of mourning declared in the nation. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar meets Maldivian counterpart to forge closer bilateral ties. Says partnership based on desire to work together for each other's interests. More pride to Indians in the Paris Olympics. Wrestler Aman wins bronze, India's 6th medal in the tally. Prime Minister Modi hails his dedication and perseverance. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the landslides hit Wayanad on Saturday to review the relief and rehabilitation efforts. During the visit, the Prime Minister will also meet and interact with victims and survivors of the landslide at a relief camp and hospital. The massive landslides that occurred on July 30th in the Hills district have killed 225 people. All right, Nishant Rai joins us from Wayanad, Kerala. Nishant, now we know the enormous task of relief and rehabilitation was the first priority for the administration, and now that the work is going on at the desired pace, Prime Minister's visit will give further hope to the people, especially the affected citizens of Wayanad. Tell us more on Prime Minister's visit. Which all areas will he visit?
देखिए, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जो हैं कुन्नूर पहुंचेंगे और कुन्नूर के बाद से वो हवाई सर्वेक्षण करेंगे। यहाँ पर जिन इलाकों में नुकसान हुआ है, लगभग 8 किलोमीटर का वो पूरा दायरा है, जहाँ पर प्रधानमंत्री देखेंगे कि कितना नुकसान हुआ है और किस तरीके से पुनर्वास किया जा सकता है। इसके बाद प्रधानमंत्री एक समीक्षा बैठक भी करेंगे, जिसमें एनडीआरएफ, एसडीआरएफ और केरला के तमाम अथॉरिटीज के लोग होंगे, जिनसे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी बातचीत करेंगे कि किस तरीके से अब पुनर्वास को किया जाए, बचाव कार्य कितना चल रहा है और जो लोग हताहत हुए हैं उनकी कितनी संख्या हो गई है और अभी तक बचाव कार्य में कितना समय लगेगा। इन तमाम चीजों की चर्चा करेंगे। इसके बाद प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी पीड़ितों से मुलाकात करेंगे, राज्य सरकार और केंद्र सरकार की ओर से उनको किस तरीके से मदद की जा रही है और उनकी जो स्वास्थ्य देखभाल है उसको किस तरीके से किया जा रहा है, इन तमाम चीजों की चर्चा करेंगे। मुख्यमंत्री विजयन ने प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी के केरल आने को लेकर पहले ही उन्होंने कहा था कि काफी उम्मीदें हैं। केंद्र सरकार लगातार काफी संवेदनशील तरीके से वायनाड के लोगों के साथ खड़ी और प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जब ये घटना हुई थी तब से लेकर आज तक इस पूरी घटना पर नजर बनाए हुए हैं। ऐसे में उनका वायनाड दौरा कहीं ना कहीं केरल के लोगों को एक बड़ी उम्मीद देता है, खासकर वायनाड के लोगों को, कि प्रधानमंत्री अगर यहाँ आते हैं, अपनी आंखों से सब कुछ देखते हैं, तो हो सकता है कि चीजें और बेहतर और अच्छी तरीके से हो सकें।
All right, Nishant, thank you for joining in with those inputs. That was our correspondent Nishant Rai joining us and telling us that the Prime Minister will reach Kunnur first and then he will take a helicopter sortie to take stock of the affected areas, to take stock of the situation there. He will also hold a meeting after visiting the area. So our correspondent Nishant Rai told us that the residents in the area are hopeful of the Prime Minister and his visit today. We'll keep you updated. The Prime Minister will take a visit to the affected areas at around noon today. We'll keep you updated. Meanwhile, let's turn focus to other updates. After a successful two-day visit to New Zealand, President of India, Draupadi Murmu, arrived in Delhi, the capital of Timor-Leste, on the last leg of her three-nation visit. She was given a static guard of honor at the airport and was warmly received by the President of Timor-Leste, Jose Ramos Horta, and other ministers. President Murmu also received a warm welcome on her arrival at the hotel. The President's motorcade was cheered on by school children waving flags of both the countries. The President also stopped on the way to greet the children. President of India, Draupadi Murmu, also received a guard of honor during a ceremonial welcome at the Presidential Palace in the capital of Timor-Leste. President Murmu also was bestowed with the Grand Collar of the Order of Timor-Leste by President Ramos Horta. It is the highest civilian award of the nation of Timor-Leste. With a vision of neighbourhood first and Sagar policy, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar met his Maldivian counterpart Musa Zamir in Maldives to discuss all areas of bilateral cooperation to deepen the partnership between India and the archipelagic nation. Both the leaders witnessed signing of MOU between National Payments Corporation of India and Ministry of Economic Development and Trade of Maldives on introduction of digital payment system in the Maldives. After holding bilateral talks, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that India's partnership with Maldives is based on our deep desire to work together for each other's welfare and interests.
India's partnership with the Maldives is based on our deep desire to work together for each other's welfare and interests. It is a partnership that has enabled us to always swiftly and effectively respond to challenges as witnessed in the past.
The minister also highlighted India's neighbourhood first policy and said that Maldives is one of the cornerstones of our policy.
Maldives is one of the cornerstones of our neighbourhood first policy. It is also one of our vision saga, as well as of our commitment to the global south. For India, neighbourhood is a priority, and in the neighbourhood, Maldives is a priority. We also share the closest of bonds of history and kinship.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is on Maldives visit. This is the minister's first visit to the country since Muizu government took charge last year. The Union Cabinet, chaired by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday, approved 8 new big railway projects that will cover aspirational and tribal districts. While briefing about the cabinet decisions on Friday, Minister for Information and Broadcasting Ashwini Vaishnaw said that the new 8 railway projects are expected to cut down around 767 crore kilograms of carbon dioxide.
8 बड़े रेलवे प्रोजेक्ट्स आज कैबिनेट में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अप्रूव किया। इन 8 बड़े रेलवे प्रोजेक्ट्स से एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, ट्राइबल बहुल क्षेत्र, आदिवासी बहुल क्षेत्र, इन सब को एक बहुत बड़ा डेवलपमेंट का माध्यम मिलेगा। इन 8 बड़े प्रोजेक्ट्स में 3 प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं उड़ीसा का जो सदर्न पोर्शन है और वेस्टर्न पोर्शन है उसके।
The Union Cabinet further approved Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban 2.0 scheme. Now, under this new scheme, financial assistance will be provided to 1 crore urban poor and middle class families.
पहले 10 वर्षों में 4 करोड़ घर प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत पूरे देश भर में एक बहुत बड़ा सोशल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इससे आया है, जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपनी पहली घोषणा की थी। आज उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए कैबिनेट में डिटेल्ड चर्चा हुई, डिटेल्ड कैबिनेट में डिस्कशन हुआ इस पे, और 3 करोड़ नए घर बनाने का फैसला लिया गया, जिसमें 3,60,000 करोड़ 3,60,000 करोड़ रुपीस का टोटल बजटरी प्रोविजन रहेगा।
The Union Cabinet approved the Clean Plant Program proposed by Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare.
किसानों की इनकम को बढ़ाने के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा फैसला लिया गया है, वो है क्लीन प्लांट प्रोग्राम। इसमें हॉर्टिकल्चर के जो प्लांटेशंस होते हैं, हॉर्टिकल्चर अच्छी इनकम देने वाला एक मेजर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम है किसानों के लिए। इसमें जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती थी वो होता था कि जो प्लांट्स हैं उन प्लांट्स में वायरस का इन्फेक्शन बहुत रहता था। उस रूट कॉज को, उस मूल प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए ये प्रोग्राम आज कैबिनेट में प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने अप्रूव किया है।
Every year on 10th of August, we raise awareness about critical need to protect lions from the brink of extinction. These majestic big cats, a symbol of strength and grace, are facing unprecedented threats to their survival. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us more.
Lions are the kings of the jungle, but even those at the top of the animal kingdom need our help. On World Lion Day, let's see what's really going on. The lion has always been the most revered of the big cats. Movies like Lion King immortalized the character Simba, a young lion cub, and intrigued many into the lives of the lions. The majestic cats who are now restricted to only parts of Africa and India. Each year on 10th of August, World Lion Day is celebrated, where environmentalists around the globe try to bring awareness to the declining population of lions. In India, a record 29% increase in the population of Asiatic lions was witnessed in the last 5 years, with their population going up from 523 in 2015 to 674 in 2020. The Gir forest in Gujarat is the only natural habitat of the Asiatic lion. A total of 208 Asiatic lions are housed in 31 Indian zoos across the country and have been a star attraction in promoting conservation awareness and outreach for visitors, especially children, that are able to see these magnificent creatures up and close in the zoos. The government has given high priority for conservation of this flagship species and has initiated a dedicated lion conservation project. Habitat improvement, disease control, and enhancing protection mechanism have been given due priority in lion conservation. As we celebrate World Lion Day, let's remember that the king of the jungle needs our protection now more than ever. Join the movement to conserve their habitats, support anti-poaching efforts, and ensure that the future generation can witness the majesty of lions in the wild. With cameraperson Rakesh, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
We're heading for a short break on DD India News Hour, but after the break, on World Biofuel Day today, we get to the details of government taking up the mandate to create awareness about importance of non-fossil fuels. Accepting a repeal, Court of Arbitration for Sport agrees to hear Vinesh Phogat's case regarding the possibility of awarding her a joint silver medal. Members of indigenous communities from across Mexico convened to celebrate the International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India News Hour. World Biofuel Day is being observed on 10th of August. The government has taken up the mandate to create awareness about the importance of non-fossil fuels as an alternative to polluting conventional fossil fuels and to highlight the various efforts enforced in the biofuel sector. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya gets us more.
बायोफ्यूल सिर्फ विज्ञान नहीं है, बल्कि वो मंत्र है जो 21वीं सदी के भारत को और न सिर्फ भारत को, पूरे विश्व की मानव जात को नई ऊर्जा देने वाला है।
The world has awakened to the urgent need for sustainable energy sources in recent years. In India, rampant pollution in many cities has hastened the need to shift to a cleaner, greener alternative. Biofuels have emerged as a shining beacon of hope, offering a path to combat climate change and create a more sustainable future for all. The fuel derived from the biomass of plants or animal waste is known as biofuel. In the social context, the collection of agricultural waste as feedstock creates employment in rural areas and is an alternate sustainable revenue stream for farmers that boosts the rural economy. Ethanol blending witnessed a significant rise from 1.5% in 2014 to 12% in 2023, leading to a reduction in carbon emission by about 42 million metric tons. The Global Biofuel Alliance, formally launched during the G20 summit in New Delhi by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, stands as a transformative milestone in global energy landscape. This alliance, driven by India, United States and Brazil, is a concerted effort to address pressing energy and economic challenges through sustainable biofuels. The Indian government approved the national policy on biofuel in 2018, which aims 20% of ethanol blending by 2030. The use of ethanol will also aid India's COP26 commitments. Worldwide consumption of biofuel is expected to climb to 203.7 thousand metric tons in 2024. Annual ethanol and biodiesel consumption is forecast to be nearly 224,000 metric tons in 2030.
The volatility in international crude oil market is driving prices of petrol and diesel. Time couldn't be more opportune to promote and expedite the usage of biofuels, which will aid India's march towards a $5 trillion economy and a developed nation by 2047. With camera person Rakesh, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
And now we get to all the action from Paris Olympics. Indian wrestler Aman won a bronze medal, beating Puerto Rico's Darren Cruz for 13-5 in Paris Olympics. Now, this is Sehrawat's first Olympic Games. TD India's correspondent Narayan Singh spoke to Aman to know more about his winning journey. Let's listen in.
Aman Sehrawat has created history. He has become the youngest to win a medal for India at the podium of the Olympics. अमन बधाई आपको, आपने ओलंपिक्स में गोल्ड जीता, पहले भी जीते, आपने शुरुआत की वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप अंडर 3 में गोल्ड जीता और यहाँ फिर एक बार ब्रॉन्ज जीता ओलंपिक जैसे मंच पे, तो कैसे देखते हैं इस उपलब्धि को आप?
इस उपलब्धि को मतलब बहुत अच्छे देख रहे हैं, आगे जाके और अच्छा करेंगे, इससे भी 2028 के में इससे भी बढ़िया मेडल का रंग बदलेंगे।
अमन, अगर आपसे कोच से बात हुई हमारी, कोच ने कहा कि अमन बहुत ही फोकस्ड, 100% फोकस रहता है और जब आप ट्रेनिंग करते हैं बाहर, होटल का कमरा और आपका ट्रेनिंग और आपका कंपटीशन वेन्यू, तो इतनी कम उम्र में इतना फोकस, ये कहाँ से आता है, ये कहाँ से सीख मिलती है आपको?
मतलब इस मेन तो डिसिप्लिन है, तो मतलब इतना बड़ा मेडल चाहिए तो डिसिप्लिन तो बहुत जरूरी है, अगला मेहनत से भी कुछ नहीं होता, तो मतलब ये सब कुछ बहुत जरूरी था।
जिस तरह से टॉप्स है, खेलो इंडिया है, आप सब लोगों के लिए इन स्कीम से कितना फायदा मिलता है, उसके बारे में कुछ बताएंगे आप?
इन स्कीम से टॉप साई और WFI ने भी बहुत मदद करी, तो मतलब इन तक बहुत फायदा मिला है।
The future of the Indian wrestling is bright and we are hoping that next time definitely we will convert this bronze medal into a gold in LA. With camera person Senthil, Narayan Singh, DD India, Paris.
Vinesh Phogat's appeal hearing has concluded and the verdict is expected any time before the closing ceremony of the ongoing Paris Olympics. She in fact had challenged her disqualification from the 50 kg gold medal bout and knocked the CAS doors to be awarded a shared silver medal. DD India's Narayan Singh provides us with in-depth insights on the verdict. Let's listen in.
Actually, the whole India is hoping that the decision of the Court of Arbitration for Sports will come in Vinesh Phogat's favor, and we all know that what kind of wrestling she did in Paris. First, she defeated the world #1, who had an unbeaten streak of 82 matches, and she was Tokyo Games, Tokyo Olympics gold medalist, and also we know that she was 4-time world champion. So if you take a look, the kind of support government has given in this case is immense. Government of India asked the IOA to hire Harish Salve as an advocate in this case. And also they bought the Vidaspute Singhania as the amicus curiae in this case. And it's we can say that the government has left no stone unturned to bring the matter in Vinesh Phogat's favor. First of all, let's take a look why the Vinesh Phogat's chances are there. First of all, she said that on day 1, when she was there in the pre-quarter finals of the tournament, her weight was accurate, correct, in which she was playing. And the thing is that the next day, when she fought after 3 fights, first quarterfinals, so first pre-quarter finals, then quarterfinals, then semi-finals. Between these 2 fights, it is her fundamental rights to take something like food, water, so that she can reload herself, so that she can, we can say that top up herself, she can re-energize herself to be there, so that she can fight the another bout. She is saying that this is her fundamental right. Okay, if this thing just strikes the minds of the jury there in the Court of Arbitration for Sports, definitely it has it will go for some bigger repercussions, considering the fact that it will not only impact the Vinesh Phogat's medal, but also the whole wrestling fraternity and the sports fraternity. In this case, if you take a look at it, definitely, if we go by the rules, UWWC says that they have done what rule says. It's okay from their side. And IOC also says the United World Wrestling Body has just followed the rules, nothing else. So in the past also we saw that the case, such cases came, especially, you know, the Duti Chand, when she was on the basis of the more testosterone hormones, she was banned by the World Athletics. But in that case also, Government of India hired lawyers and went to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and they won. That it is the in part such has happened, and this time also it can happen that the Court of Arbitration for Sport can just help Vinesh to win that silver medal that she deserves, and the whole country is waiting. We are also waiting when the decision will come, and as per reports, as per sources, the Court of Arbitration for Sports will just give the verdict on it before the closing of the game. So we will continuously update this as the things right now under, we can say, the jurisdiction right now.
Was Narayan telling us more about Phogat's verdict. Decision on boxing's inclusion in the 2028 LA Olympics will be made in 2025, as boxing has not yet been added to the LA 2028 program. International Olympic Committee President Thomas Bach said that the IOC is managing the boxing competition at the Paris Olympics after revoking the International Boxing Association's recognition last year due to governance and financial issues. The IOC has urged national boxing federations to establish a new global governing body or risk the sport's exclusion from the Olympics in 4 years. Algeria's Iman Khalif, the female boxer thrust into the center of a gender dispute at the Paris Games, made a statement on her womanhood after beating China's Yang Liu to take the welterweight Olympic gold medal. Khalif, silver medalist at the 2022 World Championships, and Taiwan boxer Lin Yu Ting have been in the spotlight as part of a gender dispute in Paris that has dominated headlines and been the subject of much discussion on social media platforms. In response to the controversy, at a press conference, Khalif said that I'm just like any other woman.
As of whether I qualify or not, whether I'm not a woman or not, I have made many statements in the media. I am fully qualified to take part in this competition. I am a woman like any other woman. I was born a woman. I lived a woman. I competed as a woman. There is no doubt about that. there are enemies, enemies of success. This is what I call them, the enemies of success. And of course, this also gives my success a special taste.
In a vibrant display of cultural heritage and unity, members of indigenous communities from across Mexico convened to celebrate the International Day of the World's Indigenous People. This annual event brought together representatives from various groups, each proudly showcasing the rich traditions of their respective regions. All right, with those colorful visuals, we'll end this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the respective QR codes on your screens. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India News Hour.